Good morning, esteemed delegates. May we now ask everyone to please take their respective seats as we are about to begin the closing ceremony. May we also ask on stage our esteemed religious leaders who have been tasked to read the Assembly Declaration here on stage. Again, may we ask the esteemed religious leaders tasked to read our Assembly Declaration to now go here on stage.
Yeah. We don't even. Maybe we go back a bit so that they can. Hello.
Lynette, you go out. You go out. Just here.
So that when they stop the music, we just stay on stage, so that you're able now to guide them.
As you read this.
After I read that one, because if we go.
Esteemed religious leaders, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, After spending 3.5 days of very intensive, but also very inspiring work, we are now coming to the end of the Religions for Peace 10th World Assembly, unfortunately.
We have the honor of having with us on stage esteemed religious leaders who will read the Assembly Declaration, which was adopted by the Assembly this morning.
Welcome.
We, 900 women, men, and youth, have gathered in Lindau, Germany, coming from 125 countries for the 10th World Assembly of Religions for Peace. We are grateful for 49 years of determined focus on building peace and on speaking for those most in need. We are an alliance of care, of compassion, of love. We represent a far greater, ever-growing and ever-radiating alliance of common action that Religions for Peace gladly serves. In that light, we acknowledge with sorrow the ways, subtle and gross, that we and our religious communities have fallen short. Our hearts grieve over the misuse of our faith, especially the ways that they have been twisted to fuel violence and hate. Our alliance honors our religious differences, even as it serves the peace for which the human heart hungers. We gather in hope, convinced that the sacred calls all humanity into shared responsibility for our common good, care for one another, the earth, and its entire web of life.
The burdens of the human family are well known to us. We know too well war, how it kills, maims, and destroys the lives of the innocent. We know the crushing weight of extreme poverty, how it stunts, humiliates, and plunders. 10% of our human family is desperately poor. We know that more than 70 million of us no longer find shelter in the sanctuary of their homes. They are refugees, internally displaced, and persons forced to be on the move. We know we have entered a terrifying new arms race, one that includes modernizing nuclear weapons, weaponizing space and artificial intelligence, and new energy weapons. These burdens are profoundly exacerbated by the cataclysmic heating of the earth, decimation of the rainforests, poisoning of the seas, and choking of the web of life.
We are also experiencing what we call a meta-crisis of a modern order, which lies behind the United Nations and the agreements our states have made on human rights, the rule of law, and international trade. Freedoms of all kinds, the protections of minorities, and the fabric of our connection have come under attack around the world. On the economic front, a meager handful of the richest persons have more wealth than 4 billion persons. Adding to the political and economic dimensions of this meta-crisis or modern order, there is today a meta-crisis of truth, which challenges the notion of truth, while fake news is tailored for political or commercial gain. Today, we are buffeted between inconvenient truth and convenient fabrications. The hour is late. We are called to urgent action.
caring for our common future, advancing shared well-being. Our heart's innermost experiences of the sacred and our outermost social lives cry out to be connected to a state of positive peace that Religions for Peace calls shared well-being. Our different experiences of the sacred make clear that we are, at root, relational, radically related to the sacred and to all that is caused or embraced by the sacred. As fundamentally relational, our well-being is intrinsically shared. Helping the other, we are helped. Injuring the other, we wound ourselves. We fully acknowledge the invaluable roles of women and youth among us and will continually mainstream their irreplaceable contributions. Our different traditions make clear that the sacred establish us as both responsible for and different traditions and dependent upon each other and the earth that sustains us. Shared well-being calls us to commit to all the ways the modern order supports our human dignity. It also calls us to offer in a constructive spirit any complementary contribution from our religions. We affirm the modern order's recognition of the foundational importance of a freedom. At the same time, we are called to show by example the sacred grounding of a freedom. It leads through the despair of nihilism, rejects the narcissism of mindless consumerism, and expresses itself as radical care for all.
To our commitment to the importance of human rights, we add our foundational concern for the cultivation of virtues, those habitual orientations to value that sculpt our human potentials. These include our potentials for the elevated states of mercy, compassion, and love. For us, the label to become virtuous is not a solitary act. Rather, it is an act of solidarity, one that can only be achieved by generosity and mutual love. The cultivation of virtue tackles the ignorance, individual egoism, and group egoism that mutilate authentic community. Shared well-being also calls for a robust notion of the common good that can serve all of us in our efforts to virtuously enfold our rights, protected human dignity. The supreme good for us is scattered even as we understand it differently. The common good includes the earth with its air, water, soil, and web of life. The common good also includes just institutions that help each to develop her or his human dignity. This calls all of us to a shared and grateful responsibility. Each person is to draw from the common good. Each is to help build it up. Advancing shared well-being is concrete. We commit to advancing shared well-being by preventing and transforming violence, conflicts, promoting just and harmonious societies, nurturing sustainable and integral human development, and protecting the earth.
Preventing and transforming violent conflicts. We commit to preventing violent conflicts by advancing peace and education, from early childhood to adults across our religious communities, focusing on shared values, religious literacy, and narratives of peace. We will build skills in conflict management that address the drivers of conflicts non-violently. Our commitments to transforming violent conflicts are actualized in our assembly by the religious leaders from Myanmar, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, the Central African Republic, Nigeria, and South Sudan. Our commitment is also expressed in the religious women represented by those from the Middle East and North African region. In the Assembly's plenary, here also religious persons from North and South Korea have worked to construct conditions for peace on the Korean Peninsula. These religious leaders have convinced privately in the assembly to strengthen one another as partners, peacemakers, and healers. We commit to supporting their efforts in their respective countries and regions. We adopt the Peace Charter for Forgiveness and Reconciliation, convinced that transforming violent conflicts requires the healing of historical wounds and painful memories, forgiveness and reconciliation. We commit to integrating efforts for healing into all our conflict resolution work.
To renew our commitment to nuclear disarmament, we pledge to be a full partner of the international campaign to abolish nuclear weapons. We condemn the existence of the nuclear weapons, affirm our support for the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons, and will educate, mobilize, and engage religious communities towards these ends. We also call for immediate state steps toward the general disarmament, including all weapons of destruction, conventional, nuclear, chemical, biological, and those newly emerging.
Promoting just and harmonious societies. We take heart that multi-religious actors and institutions are working to build just and harmonious societies with a vibrant spirit of care and commitment to justice. We commit to continue common action to tackle injustice, including the large-scale displacement of persons and resulting challenges from the migration crisis, both for refugees and migrants and the societies where they settled. We will make the global force migration crisis a priority for action. We will lead by example in welcoming the others. We commit to instilling with respect, mutuality, and solidarity that are essential to promote, build, and sustain just, harmonious, and diverse communities. The cross-cutting commitments can be education, including religious literacy, from early childhood to adults, and focus on shared civic virtues that appreciate the social diversity. We will develop an alliance of virtue based on the Declaration of Virtue, widely shared across religious tradition and other virtue heritages.
We pledge to protect children, vulnerable individuals and communities, and advocate for their human rights and well-being in the face of grave suffering. We will speak up forcefully and take action against corruption and for good governance. We commit ourselves to caring and determined effort to address the causes and reality of widespread abuses and violence, especially against women and children. We also commit to common efforts within our communities with civil society partners and governments to ensure principled freedom of religion worldwide. We, persons of faith, yearn to protect holy sites and feel safe within them. We will preserve and protect holy sites against violence and desecration, partnering with the United Nations Alliance of Civilizations to form living rings for peace around them.
Sustainable and integral human development
and protecting the earth. We commit to human development as set forth in the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. We will foster sustainable and integral human development by promoting the peace, inclusive citizenship, and equal opportunities interwoven through the SDGs. We will champion personal accountability for sustainable consumption, the dignity of labor, and equitable distribution of wealth. We will honor the insights of science and steward progress in digital technology toward the good of all. We will advance universal access to education. We will continue to promote the role of women and youth in society and their leadership in institutions at the local, national, regional, and global levels. Thank you.
We commit to urgent action against the climate crisis. We will mobilize religious communities to protect the earth, including the promotion of green congregations. Leaders and partners in the fight against environmental degradation, our indigenous brothers and sisters remind us, when Mother Earth suffers, human beings suffer. When human beings suffer, Mother Earth suffers. We, guardians and caretakers of Earth, endorse the Faith for Forests Declaration. We commit to raise awareness about tropical deforestation and to educate our religious communities about the dire spiritual and sustainability crisis. We will take action to live ecologically balanced and sustainable lifestyle and advocate for government policies to protect rainforests, defend the rights of indigenous peoples, and fulfill their pledges to the Paris Agreement on climate change.
Call to common action. Guided by the principles of our own religious traditions and respectful of religious differences, we personally commit to fostering positive peace as shared well-being. We will be partners with sincere believers of other religions and all women and men of goodwill to produce positive peace materials and workshops for multi-religious contexts with the Institute for Economics and Peace. Develop tools and training on the positive roles of women in preventing and transforming conflicts and on the issue of violence against them. Acknowledge past hurts, including across religious traditions, and foster public acts of forgiveness and reconciliation. Work for the well-being of refugees and migrants, and develop programs of accompaniment and support. Urge religious communities to invest their resources in alignment with achieving the SDGs. Raise public awareness about deforestation with the Interfaith Rainforest Initiative and through the acceptance and promotion of the Faith for Forests Declaration. Take action against climate change in general and advocate for policies that protect the earth. Advance reconciliation as a vital dimension of positive peace within persons and among communities and nations as per the Peace Charter for Forgiveness and Reconciliation. Commit to being a full partner to support the international campaign to abolish nuclear weapons. Forge an alliance of virtue based on a declaration of virtues widely shared across religious traditions and other virtue heritages. We speak with humility, asking for support, prayers, and blessings.
Thank you. Thank you, esteemed religious leaders, for sharing the Assembly Declaration with us. As we all know, this declaration is a result of all the hard work and brilliant work of the past few days, and it will provide the basis of common action for each of our countries and each of our regions for the next 5 years. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
But the work in the commissions and on the declaration is not all that has happened in these last days. The Religions for Peace World Assembly not only offers the opportunity for dialogue and exchanges between representatives from different religions from around the world. The Assembly is also, importantly, a moment of action. At this point, we will now have the reports from Track 2 Consultations.
So for the Track 2 consultations, we will first hear from esteemed religious representatives from Myanmar and Bangladesh, who will share with us the outcome of their consultations. Welcome. Let's give them a hand as they come on stage.
I have the honor to read the message of His Holiness Pope Francis. From the Vatican, 19th of August, 2019. To the participants in the 10th World Assembly of Religions for Peace, Lindau from 20th to 23rd August 2019. His Holiness Pope Francis was pleased to be informed of the 10th World Assembly of Religions for Peace, and he sends cordial greetings to all those participating in the meeting in Lindau. As the participants reflect on the theme, Caring for Our Common Future, Advancing Shared Well-Being, His Holiness prays that this anniversary assembly may bear fruit in a renewed commitment to the works of concord and fraternity among the religious leaders and their respective communities. For the authentic teachings of religions invite us to remain rooted in the values of peace, to defend the values of mutual understanding, human fraternity, and harmonious coexistence, taken from document on human fraternity for peace, world peace, and living together. Such values lead to peace with oneself, with others, and with all creation, so that everyone may rediscover the grandeur of God's gift and our individual and shared responsibility as inhabitants of this world, citizens and builders of the future, taken from the message of World Day of Peace 2019. Upon all present, Pope Francis invokes the divine blessings of joy and peace. Cardinal Pietro Parolin, Secretary of State.
We, Religions for Peace leaders from Myanmar and Bangladesh, held track 2 consultations on the refugee problem affecting our two countries at the RFP 10th World Assembly held in Lindau, Germany from 20th to 23rd August 2019. We express serious concern over this tragedy fallen upon our fellow human beings and firm determination to build confidence and strive to find a peaceful and just solution to this tragedy of the refugees compelled to flee to Bangladesh and sheltered in different refugee camps there. We sincerely appreciate the humanitarian services rendered thus far by Bangladesh and the international community to this suffering people. We view the implementation of the bilateral agreement signed between the governments of Myanmar and Bangladesh on the return of the refugees and the tripartite agreements with UNHCR and UNDP, respectively, as fundamentals for a peaceful and just resolution of the problem. The recommendations of the Kofi Annan Commission report are considered vital for resolving this humanitarian issue.
The RFB leaders of both countries recognize that it is necessary to create conditions needed for the voluntary return of the refugees. We reiterated our support that returnees be settled in the places of origin or nearby places, be given access to basic services, freedom of movement, and sustainable livelihood conditions. We also support the planned, dignified, voluntary, and safe return of refugees from Bangladesh with due protection and accompaniment by reputable agencies such as ICRC and UNHCR. We, the RFP leaders of Myanmar, recognize the need to consider and address the complex issues of citizenship. We express our sincere appreciation to RFP and the Foundation Peace Dialogue for jointly convening the Assembly with the support of the German Federal Foreign Office. Furthermore, we appeal to these organizations to continue rendering the invaluable support towards the resolution of this humanitarian crisis. We further earnestly appeal to the leaders of the RFP International to play in response to this people-to-people dialogue its positive role for permanent peace building through conflict transmission in this region. In order to prevent such a tragedy from reoccurring, we firmly commit to continue our endeavors to combat hate speech, misperceptions, prejudices, so as to reach sustainable reconciliation and peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you, esteemed colleagues from Myanmar and Bangladesh, for sharing this with us.
So as they get off the stage, we will Thank you. So now we will introduce on the stage our esteemed representatives from the Middle East to tell us about their consultations on the Marrakesh Declaration process. Welcome our colleagues from the Middle East. Okay. Welcome.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you all. During the course of 3 days, a group of religious leaders, politicians, academics, activists, men, women, and youth from the Middle East and North Africa region met to discuss ways to advance the Marrakesh Declaration. We did that first by surveying challenges to the declaration and multi-religious responses to these challenges, before putting together an action plan that guides our way forward. We grouped the challenges under 5 headings that you can see here for yourself that include the political, cultural, educational, intellectual, and the media. Of these many challenges present in the slides, we identify as our main challenge the lack of awareness of the Marrakesh Declaration at the grassroots level and the lack of implementation at the state level. Multi-religious collaboration to these challenges are plenty and include sustained advocacy. One example of such advocacy is the work under process to adopt a charter on inclusive citizenship for Arab states, led by the Forum for Peace, Adyan Foundation, and Wilton Park. I now highlight 3 of our many action points. First, we expect and hope from Religions for Peace, MENA Council, that is soon to be established, to take as one of its key projects the transformation of the Marrakesh Declaration from thought to practice. Second, the sponsors of the declaration, the Forum for Promoting Peace in Muslim Societies, will develop and execute a media plan that simplifies the content of the declaration for the benefit of the youth, who are the largest component of society in the MENA region. The media plan will include a vast social media presence and multi-purpose audio-visual kits for different age groups, backgrounds, and settings. Third, working on educational reform through the production of lesson plans and pedagogical techniques that emphasize the Declaration's principles for use in schools at all levels. I would like to thank the facilitators of the sessions, Father Fadi Lindau of Adyan Foundation, Mr. Peter Welby of the Forum for Peace, and the Honorable Leila Al-Khafaji. I would also like to honor the participants of the session by asking them to stand. Please join me in thanking them all.
Thank you for sharing these promising developments with us. Next, we now welcome on stage the Christian and Muslim leaders from Central African Republic to report on their consultations. Let us please give them a round of applause.
Good afternoon. So as the leaders are approaching the stage, I would like to just put a little bit of context to this particular group from Central African Republic. 6 years ago, when the crisis in Central African Republic was in its heat, Religions for Peace, Dr. William Vindley, in collaboration with many actors, we visited Central African Republic. That was April 4 of 2013. It was not an easy visit. It was in the midst of war. It was the time when we decided to visit the Central Mosque in PK5. All the international communities said to us, do not go there as religious leaders. We said, we will go. When we went that morning at 6 o'clock a.m., some of the imams here will remember, they were in the mosque, 9 bodies killed people for 4 days. They were not buried. They cannot do procession. That was the situation. That was the situation at the time. Today, I am so excited to see that these religious actors and leaders here, they have been working and collaborating. This is Religions for Peace that we know. They committed, they worked together for the last 6 years, and they will continue their commitment to advance peace in CAR. With that words, I would like to invite Pastor Nicholas, the head of the Associations of Evangelicals in Central African Republic, representing this diverse group, women of faith, youth, imams, pastors, and priests, to say a few words. Pastor Nicholas.
Nous, la délégation de la République centrafricaine, souhaitons saisir cette occasion pour remercier Religions pour la paix et toutes les autres organisations de cette 10e Assemblée mondiale de nous avoir invités à venir participer à cette merveilleuse occasion. Nous sommes profondément inspirés par l'esprit de cette Assemblée et nous sommes déterminés à faire progresser notre bien-être commun et à prendre soin de notre avenir commun. Nous reconnaissons que nous, acteurs religieux, en République centrafricaine avons un rôle crucial à jouer dans la promotion de la paix et de la réconciliation dans notre pays. La crise nous a rapprochés et a renforcé nos relations en tant qu'acteurs religieux de notre pays. Nous sommes déterminés à parler d'une seule voix pour parvenir à la paix. Nous vous remercions pour votre accompagnement.
Thank you. Thank you very much for offering us an insight into these hopeful conversations. Thank you very much. As they go off stage, let us now welcome the religious representatives from the Democratic Republic of Congo. Welcome to the stage.
Nous, membres de la délégation de la République démocratique du Congo à la 10e Assemblée mondiale de religions pour la paix, mus par un vif désir de voir les confessions religieuses contribuer et jouer un rôle prépondérant à l'amélioration des conditions de vie des populations de notre pays, conscients des atouts que représente notre implication depuis des années auprès des dites populations, est convaincu qu'un engagement ferme des différents protagonistes contribuera à trouver des solutions aux multiples maux qui affligent nos compatriotes, formulons la présente déclaration. La situation sociopolitique du pays chez nous reste fragile et incertaine. On ne sait pas encore dans quelle direction l'on va. La situation économique est très déplorable. La population vit dans une situation de misère à peine croyable. L'alimentation, la scolarité, l'accès aux soins médicaux sont pour beaucoup un luxe, alors que notre pays est immensément riche de ressources naturelles. Sur le plan sécuritaire, dans quelques provinces, des groupes rebelles armés nationaux et des étrangers les rebelles étrangers qui n'attaquent pas leur pays contre lesquels ces rebelles sèment la désolation par des violences et des tueries énormes. Il y a aussi les conflits locaux. Malheureusement, l'institution qui a reçu le mandat des Nations Unies pour stabiliser la situation du pays, la MONUSCO, semble être dépassée et reste dans un état de stagnation, alors qu'elle continue à consommer des fonds importants pour des résultats plus que mitigés. La situation humanitaire consécutive à l'instabilité sécuritaire laisse à désirer. Elle a entraîné un déplacement interne de plus ou moins 5 millions de Congolais. La RDC est le premier pays africain en nombre de déplacés internes vivant dans des situations inhumaines. Les femmes et les enfants en sont les principales victimes, violences sexuelles, enfants de la rue, etc. Sur le plan environnemental, la RDC dispose de plus de 60% de forêts dans le bassin du Congo. C'est le deuxième poumon de la planète. Cependant, l'exploitation abusive de ces ressources naturelles constitue une agression sur l'environnement et menace non seulement la République démocratique du Congo, mais le monde entier. Comme confession religieuse, nous avons beaucoup d'atouts pour nous engager. Plus de 90% des Congolais sont des croyants. La majorité des gouvernants se reconnaissent dans les confessions religieuses. Près de la moitié des services sociaux dans notre pays sont fournis par les confessions religieuses. Les chefs des confessions religieuses ont une grande autorité morale dans le pays. La mise en place du Conseil national de religion pour la paix permet aux confessions religieuses que nous sommes de parler d'une seule voix. L'expérience accumulée dans l'éducation, on a dernièrement sensibilisé plus de 18 millions de Congolais pour les élections, la sensibilisation, le lobbying, une grande expérience que nous avons sur la médiation entre les politiciens et aussi entre les gouvernants et les rebelles. Plus d'une fois, les confessions religieuses, nous sommes allés dans les quartiers généraux des rebelles, cesser la guerre, parler avec le gouvernement, et il y a des accords qui ont été suivis après. Les confessions religieuses sont aussi dotées d'infrastructures pour des formations professionnelles capables de contribuer au développement du pays. Mais malgré tout, des besoins restent énormes et des moyens limités, d'où nos engagements. En conséquence, nous, délégués du Conseil national de religion et paix à la 10e Assemblée mondiale, confirmons l'engagement à nous investir corps et âme pour mettre fin au conflit, éduquer la population, faire des plaidoyers au niveau des instances compétentes nationales et internationales afin d'influer sur la bonne gouvernance du pays, accompagner les institutions du pays dans la mise en place des œuvres sociales, renforcer les capacités du Conseil national de religion et paix pour plus de visibilité et d'efficacité, travailler avec toutes les parties prenantes en conflit pour la réconciliation et la guérison des mémoires des victimes, établir les partenariats nécessaires avec le gouvernement pour le bien-être de la population. Enfin, nous saisissons cette occasion pour lancer un appel pressant à la communauté internationale, aux leaders religieux ici présents, aux femmes et aux hommes de bonne volonté de se joindre au Conseil national religion et paix de la République démocratique du Congo dans ses efforts pour bâtir un Congo plus beau qu'avant, un Congo plus prospère où régnera la paix. Que cette paix de Dieu habite à chacun de nous ici présents. Je vous remercie.
Thank you, dear delegates, for sharing this with us. We will now hear from religious leaders from South Sudan about their consultations. Please join in welcoming them on stage.
Say something before. Yeah, kindly. brothers and sisters, religious leaders, we met in our group and reflected on issues that has been happening in our country, the result of which will be now read to you by my brother, Canon Kaiso from Uganda. It is so happened that it is only me who came from South Sudan. 3 of my colleagues were not able to make it, and so brothers from Uganda teamed up with us just to reflect on the issues that happened in South Sudan. It is a country that got independence in 2011, and all of us raised our hands in jubilation and said, alas, peace at last. But that did not really live for long. Just after 2 years, we returned to war, which war is still continuing even as we sit here. Still the war is continuing. And so the church has been so involved. The religious institutions have been so involved with our politicians to try to bring them together and mediate, but that has been in vain. It has been so tough and difficult a journey, and so would really ask that you hold us in your prayers and you join us in this effort towards peace in South Sudan.
Esteemed delegates, the events in South Sudan have been widely covered by the media, and I'm sure that they have been part of your prayers and for various forms of support. As neighbors to South Sudan, from Uganda, and from the Sudan in Khartoum, we join together in reflection on how we can accompany our brothers in South Sudan on this journey, the search for sustainable peace. The revitalized peace agreement on the solution of the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan was signed in September 2018. The agreement boosted hopes that peace may soon be reached to end the civil war, which has killed tens of thousands, pushed millions to the brink of famine, and caused the displacement of more than 5 million people. We thank the African Union, IGAD, and other nations that have welcomed our sisters and brothers in their countries as refugees. We pray that all of you, as peacemakers, will continue to be on our side as we seek sustainable peace in South Sudan. The conflict in South Sudan has multiple dimensions. The internal, with the complex inter-ethnic and political dynamics, the regional aspect characterized by the diverse interests of neighboring countries, and the global aspect with powerful nations with conflicted agendas. Apart from the civil society initiatives, the South Sudan Council of Churches has continued to provide leadership in accompanying the signatories to the agreement as they struggle to actualize the aspirations of the agreement. A significant number of citizens of South Sudan have been dispersed to different countries, and while some of them have been supportive of the ongoing peace process, some, however, have through social media fueled ethnic discord. The track 2 on South Sudan, chaired by myself from Uganda, would like the Assembly to consider the following. Support the ongoing peace building process through the consolidation of the Interreligious Platform. It is our view that the Interreligious Council of Uganda could be instrumental to this process. And in this regard, we would like to kindly request His Grace Archbishop Odama of IRCU to visit South Sudan for consultations with senior religious leaders. 2, interreligious platforms in various countries are encouraged to actively engage with South Sudan communities in their respective countries in providing pastoral care and skills so that they can become a positive force in the peace-building efforts. Number 3, we call upon Religions for Peace for their support in realizing the objectives of the South Sudan religious leaders in their peace-building efforts in the area of mediation and reconciliation. Number 4, in view of the challenges being faced in the implementation of the agreement, we appeal for support to the religious leaders in South Sudan as they seek to review their strategies. Finally, we request all of you as members of the Regions for Peace family to pray for South Sudan and join us in solidarity for sustainable peace. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you very much, esteemed religious leaders. So right now, please allow us to invite on stage religious leaders from Latin America and the Caribbean and the Amazon for their report. Welcome on the stage.
Good morning, dear brothers and sisters. I would like to ask the delegation of the Latin American and Caribbean leaders that are here to please stand up to accompany us. Stand up in their own places. Stand up, please, so that we can all. We are going to read this very brief declaration on the terrible fire that is affecting the whole Amazon region, starting in Brazil. Solidarity with the Amazon. Serving as Latin American and Caribbean delegates to the 10th World Assembly of Religions for Peace, we received the terrible news of the Amazon fire, which is a calamitous and traumatic event orchestrated to increase deforestation and combat civil society that defends tropical forests and indigenous peoples that live in them. In the proximity of the Synod of Bishops for the Pan-Amazon region, convened by Pope Francis, we join our voices to ask for the protection of the Amazon and especially to exhort that Brazil join the other countries in the Amazon basin to advance the prevention of forest fires in the Amazon and build a joint agenda to address the effects of climate change, deforestation, and degradation of that area. Lindau, Germany, August 23rd, 2019. Can we just hold a moment of silence in solidarity with all the lives that has been destroyed and are being destroyed by the fire? Human lives, animal life, and the life of the whole forest, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, dear religious leaders, for that. Now we are ready for the next session. Esteemed religious leaders, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is our joy to now welcome to the stage Dr. Mohamed El Sanusi. He is the Executive Director of the Network for Religious and Traditional Peacemakers, and he is going to lead a special session on the transfer of leadership. Welcome, Dr. El Sanusi. Sorry. Welcome.
So much. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's give a round of applause to our able, moderators and MC for the last 3 days. Well, welcome. I am really humbled to be asked by our leadership here in Religions for Peace to help with this special ceremony. In my own tradition, we say that who does not thank people does not thank God. And I am very sure this is also in many traditions that are represented in this room. So with that note, it is my honor to invite representatives of the most senior religions for peace leaders and representative of multi-faith communities from around the world that are gathered here. So please join me to welcome Rabbi David Rosen. Rabbi David Rosen. And please also join me to welcome Dr. Vino. Dr. Vino. Also welcome Madame Mahrazia Labidi. Mahrazia. And also President Reverend Niwano. Dr. Mustafa Serich. Metropolitan Emmanuel. Madame Mariam Su. And Sheikh Mubaji, Mufti Mubaji. And priestess, please, Sister Priestess. So, and in this moment, I would like to invite my good brother, Dr. William Vindley, to join us in the stage. So I really don't need to introduce Dr. William Vindley. All of you know Dr. Vindley, his work that speaks volumes. These leaders next to me have been working closely with Dr. William Vindley through various contexts and challenges. So I would like to provide the opportunity for these leaders to briefly offer a few words of appreciation to Dr. Vindley. So we'll start as I began with Rabbi David Trozen.
Thank you so much. This is a great honor, which I was not expecting, to be able to say a few words of thank you to someone who is so special for the world interfaith movement. In Numbers, book of Numbers, chapter 27, leadership is referred in terms of the children of Israel as one who will go out before you and one who will come in to you. This is a very interesting phrase and expresses part of the challenge for the interfaith movement because very often people come together at the lowest common denominator, and that is a profound weakness. One of the great things about Dr. Wendley is his deep rootedness within his own spiritual tradition and his openness to embrace and to engage others with the full authenticity of their own identities. And that's been a wonderful example. He has taken this organization from a wonderful organization to a magnificent global organization. And he has done it with that spirit of authentic maintenance of his own spiritual identity and his respect and embrace for the identity of others, which has been an inspiration to us all. May I conclude with the words that are the blessing in the book of Deuteronomy to Bill. Baruch atah b'vo'echa u'baruch atah b'tzeitecha. Just as you were blessed when you came into us and you have given us of all your richness, inspiration, and guidance, so may you be blessed as you go out from us to continue to be a source of blessing to all. God bless you, Bill.
It's an honor again that I didn't expect, but I will say you see the leader in Bill in front of big halls. What I cherish in Bill is the ability to care. He cares for everyone. He has time for everyone. It is a rare quality today. To stand in front is easy, but to stand together and care for everybody is difficult. So I will take the freedom to ask Yasuko to join him on stage. It will be incomplete to see Bill just by himself. Yasuko, please join Bill. It is only right that we see the two sides of the person. So the first thought is the ability of a leader to care, and Bill has brought that to me. The second, I think, is for the creative leadership to flourish. If you don't grow, if you're not creative, you cannot bring people together who speak different languages, practice different faith traditions. Bill, your creativity has always energized me, whether you're in front leading or on the ground bringing people together. Thank you, Bill, for that amazing, amazing source of creativity. And the third word, I think, is from my own tradition, a language that is 2,000 years old. We say, Kudi Valdal Kodi Nanmai. There is a million blessings to share if we learn to live together. And as a Religions for Peace family, Bill and his wonderful team have given us that opportunity to live together, sometimes for a few days and sometimes for 50 years. Thank you very much, Bill.
Dear Dr. Wendley, dear Bill, friend and brother, I will use your own words to greet you. When I first met you and listened to your speech in Paris, more than 20 years ago, you invited us, people from different religions working together for peace, to use an interlanguage a public language, not to stay in our intra-language, to express solidarity, mutual respect, mutual care, and to communicate a common message and then to act in common action for common good and peace. And I asked, is he inviting us to live our religions and our values together and create something new? It seems difficult, but in working with you for all these years, I learned that the language Bill is inviting us to use is the language of love, of mutual respect, of mutual care, of sharing values, and sharing peace as we share bread and water, so nourishing each other. This language, dear Bill, has not taken me out of my religion. It brought me back to the heart of the message of my religion, and I'm sure that it did so to all of us, Thank you, Bill. Thank you for leading us for all these years and for giving us this enthusiasm to serve peace in the name of our religious value. بارك الله فيك أخي العزيز دكتور فندلي. بارك الله فيك أن جعلتنا معا نتكلم لغة المودة والمحبة والسلام بدون أن نتغرب عن ذاتنا. بارك الله فيك وشكرا بيل. شكرا.
Thank you so much. President Reverend Miwano.
ベンドレ事務総長の尽力によってレリジョン・オブ・ピースは行動する共同体へと進化を遂げてきました。日本委員会を代表してその功績をたたえ感謝の意を表します。
Thanks to the effort which has been displayed by Mr. Secretary General Dr. Bentley, Religions for Peace has accomplished its advancement as a community in action. On behalf of Religions for Peace Japan, I wish to express my gratitude while honoring his achievement.
Thank you.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Chers délégués, distingués participants, les mots me manquent pour décrire la bonté de cœur de M. Van Ley et de son épouse en aumône de sa famille. Docteur Van Ley, sa famille, c'était nous, les hommes et les femmes de foi. Docteur Van Ley, en un mot, c'est un homme de foi. Il partage, il éduque, il dirige, il donne tout en lui. Donc, Docteur Van Ley, nous prions pour lui, pour que le reste de sa vie soit une bonté, pour qu'il termine bien, que Dieu le protège et qu'il lui accorde tout le bonheur ici-bas et dans l'au-delà.
Mufti Mustafa Sirch.
Dear sisters and brothers, I see you from this podium beautiful in your diversity and promising in your unity. God and Dr. Wintley taught us how to recognize this beauty and this promise. And if anyone in this hall must say a big thanks to Dr. Windley. It is me from Bosnia. You don't appreciate peace until you taste the war. You don't appreciate freedom until you taste slavery. You don't appreciate the light until you see the darkness. And you don't appreciate the friend until you need him. And this is how I lived my life and felt that Dr. Windley is my friend and my brother. But one more thing Dr. Windley taught us. When you come here, you are supposed to give something and to take something. So I just want to tell you that I came in Lindau to give you love, respect, and tolerance, and to take from you your promise that we will work together further with our sister Aza Karem, who will be now our new Secretary General. With one condition, that Dr. Windley must stay with us, because we cannot have another rendezvous without him. This is not departure. This is a new rendezvous in some other places. So, dear sisters and brothers, I cannot but say great thanks to my dear brother Nivano from Japan. We from Bosnia went to Japan to make peace in Bosnia. So thank you to Japan as well. And finally, my Dr. Sanusi is a very good man. Thank you very much. And I want just to say you something to remember wherever you are. The devil comes to you without invitation. And the angels don't come until you invite them. And how you invite them? By prayers. So we need your prayers. So wherever you go, invite your angel so to get out your devil from your house and from your heart. So may God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I was told to keep 1 minute, and I will do. Thank you, Bill, for what you are, what you gave, and what you show us all these years of a living commitment. I'm addressing these words to someone that I came to know as a brother. You know, I don't have brothers and sisters, and I don't know what it means for you that you have. But I found in this person the brotherhood that I never came to know. And more, I found on him friendship. Aristotle says that there are 3 kinds of friends. Friends for pleasure, friends for benefit, and true friends. And this is Bill. True friend that opens a mirror, a window to the world, to all of you, to come to know all of you. Thank you. Thank you for all what you have done.
Dr. Wendley, it was 1998. When we met first, Dr. Wendley started then, and I started then. Yeah, it's already quite some time ago. Although then I didn't know where I was stepping in. From where I'm coming from, I didn't quite know how to deal with this big diversity. And just as we were asking during this assembly that we have to listen to each other more and understand each other more, Dr. Wendley did it from the first day on. He explained how we function, how our differences. He helped us to understand better. I believe he also helped some of the staff to understand us better. And I also wish that he will not completely go, that he will stay for us, just as one colleague told before. So, Dr. Wendley, many thanks for your leadership, for your wisdom, for your patience. And thank you very much to all of us, and welcome to your new ones. And also, just to mention, Latin American and Caribbean region has made a great effort to grow. And Dr. Wendley and Elias are very much responsible for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Wendley is a visionary and a great friend of the world. The brain behind this great fraternity of peoples of faith across the globe. He leaves behind an indelible legacy in the history of interfaith cooperation. Your immense contribution, Dr. Wendley, will always remain in the hearts of all peace-loving people of the world. We in Uganda, we love you. In Africa, we love you. And globally, we love you. We were nowhere, now we are everywhere as peoples of faith because of your effort. May the Almighty God bless the work of your hands, bless your family, and your future endeavors. Amen.
And now, before I request my brother, Dr. Wendley, to offer a few remarks, I would like to invite our new Secretary General, Dr. Azza Karam, to join us in the stage. So now, in this moment, and on behalf of all of you, symbolically, these religious leaders would like to present a token of appreciation to Dr. William Wendley. May I ask the volunteer to bring the flag that was signed by the majority of you to appreciate Dr. William Wendley's dedication and commitment for the last 3 decades. So let the leader hold the flag. Yeah, the leader will come and hold the flag. So this flag will be displayed, in Dr. Wendley's house. So Dr. Wendley will remember these words of appreciation from all of you that his efforts to advance multi-religious collaboration and to make our world a better place. And we will remember Dr. Windley's commitment to this work forever. Thank you so much, Dr. Windley. So now, Dr. Windley, the stage is yours.
Well, thank you very much. I'm now a little older than when I began in Religions for Peace. And I've become a little bit wiser, so I'll be very short. When I began in Religions for Peace, I was always for its mission. But I can now see that in my own heart, there was a great neediness and there was actually love. But because of you, the neediness has gone away because I feel loved by you and by every person that I've worked with in Religions for Peace. And so I've been transformed by you, and I can't thank you enough. I have had a wild love life in Religions for Peace. Thank you, and to the youth, I've been younger just a little longer than you. Thank you so much. I love you.
So please keep standing, keep standing. Please keep standing. Now, I would like to invite Dr. William Windley to be next to me and Dr. Azza Karam to be next to me as well. And our leaders here come closer. So in this moment, now is the time to symbolically transition all that we have done to the promise of our future, our new Religions for Peace Secretary General, Dr. Azza Karam. So please volunteer, bring the flag of the Religions for Peace to be officially transitioned to our new Secretary General, Dr. Karam. From Dr. Windley to Dr. Karam. Thank you.
So, Dr. Azza Karam, look at all of the love in the room and all of the people behind all of these people in the room, and their love and their hopes, and we give you all that we are to lead us forward in Religions for Peace. We love you, and we're going to be with you, Azza, as our new Secretary General.
So now it is my honor to give you our new Secretary General, Dr. Azza Karam. I am sure most of you have worked with Dr. Azza Karam in a variety of occasions. She has a clear commitment in her entire career to advance multi-religious collaboration. I know this commitment is very well known to all of you. While I don't have the time to elaborate more on Dr. Karam's bright history of achievement in this field, I would like to offer just one example. When we talk about the role of religious and traditional leaders and their engagement with the United Nations, history will clearly remember and acknowledge Dr. Karam's leadership in creating the first of its kind, the United Nations Faith-Based Advisory Council. With that note, religious are gathered here. I am really humbled to present you Dr. Azza Karam. Yes, please take your seats because Dr. Karam is going to address you. So the roadmap for RFP in the next decades to come.
Next 30 years.
Definitely not. Peace be upon you all. I have incredibly massive shoes to fill, and I'm not talking about their size. The love in this room, the appreciation, the respect, the consideration, from the very personal to the professional for Dr. Venley's leadership and his legacy is profound. And I wish to begin by expressing my own deep appreciation and respect for that legacy and my commitment to be able to continue that legacy to the best of my ability. Dr. Venley, I am your student. I thank you. I fully respect and appreciate the trust that you have put in me through the process of election and nomination. And to that end, I wish to thank those who put their trust in me, who are on this dais. So I appreciate each and every one of you, and I wish you to know that I take the responsibility quite seriously and totally. I will not be able to promise meek or mild or weak, but I can promise a legacy of service, and I can promise undying and boundless love for each and every divine in each and every one of you. Eminences, venerables, excellencies, brothers and sisters all, relax, it won't be long. We are living in a pretty difficult time, which I think Dr. Venley and each one of you who has had the opportunity to speak has outlined very clearly. It seems to me, from the humble understanding that I have, that religion or belief, for anyone who professes either, is one of the fundamental elements in our conception of human life. The question to me is, should we not seek to fully respect freedom of religion or belief? And as people of faith, seek to ensure that they can be guaranteed, such that freedom of religion and belief and conscience can contribute to the attainment of the goals of world peace, social justice, and friendship among peoples, and to the elimination of ideologies or practices that are discriminatory in each and every way. There is a quote from St. Thomas Aquinas that I'd like to share with you. 3 things are necessary for the salvation of man: to know what he ought to believe, to know what he ought to desire, and to know what he ought to do. The Buddha said, however many holy words you read, however many you speak, what good will they do if you do not act upon them? One of the basic principles of the Charter of the United Nations is the freedom of thought, conscience, religion, and belief. Given that we live in a world where there is hatred being rekindled between peoples and nations, in which, quite frankly, Unfortunately, religion is being used and abused to play a role. We have no choice, I believe, but to be head-on in confronting this misuse, this abuse of religious narratives, of the narratives of faith in the name of violence. Yes, we need to build love. Yes, we need to build trust. But above all, we need to build freedom. But what do I mean by freedom? There is a very basic understanding. Freedom was quoted in a poem by William Cowper, quoted by Amartya Sen, an Indian economist who was awarded the 1998 Nobel Peace Prize on Economic Sciences. He quoted William Cowper on freedom. The quote goes, "Freedom has 1,000 charms to show that slaves, however contented, never know." The main purpose of development, as Amartya Sen argued, is to spread freedom and its 1,000 charms to the unfree. The unfree, as we know in today's figures, are the millions who live not in poverty alone, not only without access to affordable quality education or decent levels of food, nutrition, sanitation, without safety or security, or without an environment that can sustain them. Not even those only without access to decent employment. In fact, the unfree are those whose lives are impacted simultaneously by the intersecting calamities of all of this, plus an environment which threatens each and every life on this planet. When an organization such as Religions for Peace focuses on development, and any siloed approach to programs and projects will result at best in incremental successes. But to seek to achieve a tipping point for sustainability in any endeavor, we need to ensure that we work holistically on all these intersectionalities, i.e., where the work of peacemaking simultaneously serves the needs of education, employment, and the safety of our environment. I maintain that religions, all faith traditions of all the world, agree on a number of things. Most critical is mercy, compassion, and love. And if we can all agree that mercy, compassion, and love will indeed continue to inform the work of Religions for Peace, then I believe that we have the quintessential ingredients to ensure that we are defending freedom of religion, belief, and consciousness, which also means defending the freedom to not believe. That is what religious leaders and an institution that brings us all together needs to maintain and to defend. The opportunity, the possibility of freedom, not for our own faith traditions, but for all of faith and of no faith. And it is that quintessential respect for the freedom of religion, belief, and conscience that I believe our values of mercy, compassion, and love can be most opportunely positioned. There's an African proverb which says, "Tell me who you love, I will tell you who you are." There are many scriptures that spell out what we mean by love. I will not bore you with the scripture. I'm sure that you know it far better than I do. We often fall into the trap of assuming that freedom of religion, belief, and conscience is the one and only thing that we need to defend. However, we must appreciate and not fall into the trap of what St. Thomas Aquinas, an Italian Dominican friar, philosopher, and Catholic priest, and doctor of the church and jurist in the tradition of scholasticism, reminds us. We must love both those whose opinions we share and those whose opinions we reject, for both have labored in the search of truth, and both have helped us in finding it. And how do we love the divine? I find an answer in the Talmud. Whosoever does not persecute them that persecute him, whosoever takes an offense in silence, he who does good because of love, he who is cheerful under his suffering. Those are the friends of God. And one of them, the scripture says, they shall shine forth like the sun at noontide. So let me share a very humble reflection. The freedom to love the divine is reflected in each and every living thing, including human, but by no means only the human. It is not a choice that we make, but it is an obsession that we must have. The love of the divine is tempered by freedom, the freedom to see the reflection of the divine in each and every human being and living thing, including those who may not believe in that divine. Father Emeka Obiezu writes about a politics of compassion. He urges the church to liberate compassion from its exile, an exile where compassion is a matter of charity, and to do so by undertaking action that consists of both material relief and justice making. Christians are called upon, therefore, to undertake social transformation through actions that are rooted in the experience of compassion. Father Obiezu quotes an African proverb, "When spider webs unite, they can tie up a lion," meaning that when people collaborate, they can perform wonders. If our mind is devoid of compassion, our heart is devoid of compassion, inner peace and contentment, then no matter what extensive things or external practices we perform, it is not real religion. It's not spiritual. Our heart is empty of spiritual practice. This is the message from the Kyabye Lama Zopa Rinpoche speaking in 2000. Eminences, Venerables, Excellencies, brothers and sisters all, my outlook to this work that we need to do with Religions for Peace is encapsulated in something very, very simple. Compassion, mercy, and love are the pillars on which Religions for Peace stands and needs to continue to stand. There is a sense in which I believe very strongly in servant leadership and its quintessential humility. For my faith, my peace, and my obsession with the divine is informed in the service to the divine, including that residing in each of you, which I found in the words of Saint Teresa of Avila, words that profoundly impact on me. You pay God a compliment by asking great things of him. So I beg you one and all, let us join together as a movement of Religions for Peace to pay God a compliment. Let us ask great things of God, the freedoms of all religions to make peace. And let us make that ask with a humility based on an obsession with love, mercy, compassion, of and about and with the divine in all its forms and manifestations. I believe that Religions for Peace's key strength lies in its interreligious councils in each and every one of you. These interreligious councils I wish to commit to strengthening and honoring the service to. I also believe it is high time that Religions for Peace continue the collaboration with governmental, intergovernmental, and other non-governmental secular partners. And to that end, I sincerely hope that I will be able to work with you to strengthen the interreligious councils and to create some of the critical task forces around environment, peace building, and education to begin with. I look forward to continuing this journey with you. Thank you for your patience with me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Karam. Thank you for these words here. I really wanted the Assembly also to pay special thanks to YASCO. Please join me and thank YASCO for all of these years. I know supporting Dr. Binley to achieve all of this work. It is a collective effort. We are together in this field. I know exactly what it is. So if it's not this kind of collaborative support, we wouldn't be able to achieve what we have achieved today. So I also wanted to bring greetings to the Assembly and particularly a word of appreciation and prayers from Sheikh Abdullah bin Bayya the co-moderator of Religions for Peace. He sent his blessings, thanking you, Dr. Vinley, for your leadership, as well as he congratulated Dr. Karam and pray for your success in the future. So my good friend, Dr. Vino, whispered in my ear, and she said, I need 2 seconds before you close. So it's only fair that I listen when Dr. Vino speaks.
And I'll keep the 2 seconds. This journey to Lindau, along with the wonderful leadership, Bill and his team, Deepika and Sugino-san, wherever you are, you must know, and the entire team at RFP, please stand up and get our love. And the second is for 2 wonderful individuals who brought us to Germany, who brought us to Europe. They won't like me to mention their names, but my heart is filled with gratitude. Bishop Gunnar Stolzert, wherever you are. And without him, we wouldn't be here. And another wonderful leader who has energized all of us. He wouldn't like me to mention his name, but I have to. Professor Wolfgang Schurer, who is accompanied with his wife this morning, and the wonderful team at Lindau Foundation. And the Lindau team, please stand up. Please stand up, the Lindau team. Please come forward, Professor Schurer and Bishop Stolzert. Bill reminds me, the Lindau team, please make yourself visible, and Bishop Stolzert and Professor Schurer, please come forward here. Please, Professor Schurer, the way is this way, right here. The Lindau team, can you wave so everybody can see you? You've been running 24/7.
The Lindau team. Thank you so much, Dr. Vino, and thank you so much. And I'm willing to give you 20 minutes to do all of this. Well, thank you, and thank you to Lindau, the city of Lindau, and to the Lindau community and the hospitality of Lindau. The mayor of Lindau was with us the whole time. The hospitality of this city. We walked around the city. We are welcomed in this city, so we really appreciate that. Now, finally, before I turn it over to our capable moderators here, you know, it's also when Mufti Mobaji asks something, I also have to respond. And I know each one of you has a token of appreciation wanted to present to Dr. Vinley. But Dr. Mubaji, on behalf of the Interreligious Council of Uganda, he wanted to present to Dr. Vinley a plaque.
Appreciation Award presented to Dr. William Vendley, Secretary General, Religions for Peace International, in recognition of your support towards the establishment of the Interreligious Council of Uganda.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. With that, thank you so much, religious leaders, and thank you so much for your appreciation and support. And I would like to turn it over to our capable moderators. Yes, and then please take your seats down. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Please join all of us in appreciating Dr. El Sanusi for that session. Thank you.
esteemed religious leaders, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the conclusion of this historic 10th World Assembly. At this point, may we please ask again Dr. Wendley to please remain on stage. Sorry. To honor us by leading in the singing of the Assembly song, and thus to conclude the Religions for Peace 10th World Assembly.
Yes, I'll have a loss.
Oh, you can.
Where do you want?
You can see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're on, but they asked me to stay here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm very
Did you
well.
sleep well?
Yes, I did. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. You better go here. Please go. No. You can just say that.
So we have the great honor of closing this ceremony. And we have William Wendley and Yasuko Wendley, who created this song. My piece of paper, which is in my pocket. That's quite important, I think.
You can find the lyrics on your World Assembly app also, in the music section.
You're very sweet. Rising up, I'll walk with you. What looked so far is near. Walking together without fear. On this path I'll walk with you. What looked so far is near. Walking together without fear. For good we hunger and thirst. For all of us true peace must be first. Step by step I'll walk with you. What looked so far is near. Walking together without fear. Rising up, I'll walk with you. What looked so far is near. Walking together without fear. The path to peace is long and far, but it guides like a morning star. Step by step I'll walk with you. What looked so far is near. Walking together without fear. find ourselves in sharing. Our hearts burn with caring. Rising up, I'll walk with you. What looked so far is here. Walking together without fear. Thank you all. Thank you to the Faiths in Tune artists. God bless.
Thank you so much. Safe travel to home. We are now done with the closing ceremony. Please have safe travels to your home country and extend our greetings to every region and to every country. Thank you.
Thank you so much.